What is up, everybody? What is going on, man? Hey, what's going on, Mr. Al Lewis? What is happening, people? Appreciate everybody being in here or joining in. Just wanted to talk to you guys a little bit today. Yesterday, I got emotional. And I can admit I kind of jumped the gun on what was going on with Cam Heyward. I shouldn't say jump the gun. I think I just let my emotions kind of get the best of me. I think I let my emotions get in the way of sound judgment, which it happens to the best of us. But I think that's kind of the case. Because I am always, for the most part, I'm always pro player. I am pro player. I don't hide it. But I always have a caveat to that. And I say I'm pro player, but it's got to make sense. And yesterday, I think I got a little pro player, no matter what, fought back. And even though I think I understood both sides, I was all on Cam Heyward's side. Players get screwed by owners, which they do. Nobody's ever going to tell me that or change my mind on that. But I think I let my emotions get in the way and I was being hypocritical. And the one thing that I try to pride myself on is not being hypocritical. And it didn't make sense. This just doesn't make sense. I've tried. I let it fester for 24 hours and I'm like, damn, B, this don't make no damn sense. And it doesn't. It doesn't. What Cam Heyward is doing right now just doesn't make sense. I understand what he's doing. Don't get me wrong. I 100% understand what he's doing. But it's kind of like I said yesterday. He didn't bet on himself. He should have said, I'm going to be the best defensive end or defensive tackle in football, and you guys need to pay me like that right now. He didn't do that. And now it's like, okay, this guaranteed money in 2026, I want some of that right now. And the Steelers are like, no, we're not going to do that. I would understand if they gave him some of it, but the Steelers don't have to do that. They don't have to. And it just doesn't make sense. Now, the whole hold-in thing, that's a different conversation for a different day, I guess. But here's my thoughts on it. You could have handled all this during the offseason. And I know your only leverage as a player is during the season. I totally understand is to try to leverage it during practice, and because Cam's not going to miss no games. That much I know for an absolute fact. He's not missing no football games. So if he's not going to miss football games, what are we doing? And for this to come out, like even yesterday, I was like, now this was before I knew. Before a lot of people knew, because again, I'm not a Steeler insider. I thought the Steelers leaked it. Apparently, it was Cam, either him or his agent leaked it to somebody that doesn't even cover the team. So, yeah, I just, like I said, I digested it for 24 hours, let the emotion get out of it, and said, okay, B, let's not be hypocritical. So let's not be hypocritical in your stance because you're always pro player, but you always say it has to make sense. Because if it doesn't make sense, then I'm not just going to be pro player when something's stupid. And to be quite frank with you, this is stupid. This is stupid. He should have bet on himself. He should have put the hammer down last year, and he didn't do it. So he didn't do it. And people tried to tell me about it, Big B. Okay. Great. Thanks, Jason. We appreciate it. I get it. But it still doesn't matter. Like, I understand what Cam's doing. So I understand it. But that doesn't mean that it's not stupid. So, and what he's actually doing, And he's trying to get more guaranteed money this year. That's what he's trying to do because he's the 38th highest defensive player paid. I think it's the 38th highest defensive player paid in the league. And he's the 13th highest defensive tackle. And he's like, hold on. I was a first team All-Pro. Why am I getting paid like this? Well, there's other factors to factor in too. Like, first of all, you're 36 years old. And again, 136, 36, it is what it is. It is what it is. But that the team also has to look at that too. The team also has to say, so if you fall off this year, we're giving you all this money. There's a weighted, a weighted concern on our end too. It's not just you, and they could give it to him. They could split his guarantee or whatever it's not even a guarantee. It's his roster bonus next year. They could split it and give him more money. But, I don't think they're going to do that. I be honest with you. If you said, Big B, what do you think they're going to do? I don't think the Steelers are going to do it because it sets a bad precedent. He got an extension last year and because he wanted more guaranteed money. Well, then he got it. Well, okay. But you should have said at that time, no, I want 2 years guaranteed, man. I don't want 1 year guaranteed. I want 2 years guaranteed, $38 million, end of story. But you didn't do that. It was 1 year guaranteed. So, and that's the difference. But I don't know. It's, I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's just wild. It's a bad situation. And Wes, you're right. The timing is terrible. The timing of it is like, why would you come out now and do this? Like, nobody knew anything. Nobody knew anything. They just thought, hey, you're just sitting out because you're 36 and we don't need you in training camp. We don't need you trying to prove yourself in training camp. We just need you to be in shape game one. And I don't know. Like I said, I can admit it. Emotions got the best of me because, again, I'm pro player. I'm always pro player, but I always do have that caveat, and I always use that caveat to save myself, is when it makes sense. Like, if the player's doing something stupid, I'm not going to just, it doesn't matter. I'm pro player. When it makes sense. And in this case, I was being a hypocrite. I can admit it. It doesn't make sense. It does not make sense. Doesn't make sense the way it came out. Doesn't make sense. The timing is crazy. So it is what it is. This is what it is. I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's go to what some of the stuff that you guys have said. Appreciate some members been in here. Said, what happened? What leaked out? I missed the first 3 minutes here. Oh, talking about Cam Heyward's contract yesterday. That's what leaked out. Nothing new today. Nothing new. Sugar Ray Robinson Jr. says the time is very bad. Yes, it is, man. That's the whole thing with me. The timing is terrible. It's just terrible. So, Jason says this has to be a plan for him and his agent to get paid. They're doing unnecessary stuff to have us panic. I'm not panicked. I mean, I don't think any Steeler fans are panicked. The thing that was crazy to me, Steeler fans turned on Cam Heyward like that. So, Mr. Wilson Media said Cam should have done this months ago. Thanks for the super chat and supporting the channel, man. And yes, he should have. He should have. But people turned on Cam immediately. Selfish. Disgusting. Hasn't won anything. He's not any good. He's old. Cut him. I'm like, earlier that day, we all loved Cam Heyward. And immediately it goes from you love him to get rid of him. Man. But that's what it was all day yesterday. And maybe I got caught up in trying to defend him and saying that we shouldn't hate him. I think that's maybe what I got caught up in, because I'm like, why are we hating on Cam? I understand what he's doing. He wants more money. I get it. I get it. Everybody wants more money, and he thinks this is his opportunity to get it. But, whoo, the victory. I mean, Cam Heyward has been beloved in Pittsburgh from day one. Yesterday, the Steeler fans hated Cam Heyward. I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. The Steeler fans hated Cam Heyward yesterday, and maybe they do today too. And you're right, Mr. Wilson Media. Appreciate the super chat. Steeler fans or Steeler Nation get emotional, and I was one of those, because I got emotional yesterday too. But I was like, damn, like they just literally couldn't stand him. And I'm like, all right, man, it can't be this. We can't go from that. I get we're frustrated, but it went from he sucks, get rid of him, never liked him, never any good, never won anything. He's a bum. He's selfish. He's not a leader. I'm like, wow. So I don't know. I don't know. That was wild to me. That was my only thing. Kenneth Miller says, I would never say trade or cut him, but poor timing on him for the money situation. Absolutely. Terrible timing. Terrible timing. Terrible timing. Self-made didn't think it was true. I didn't either. I think that's another reason why I went so hard trying to defend his honor, because I didn't think it was true. I just thought, oh, man, this is just made up fodder. He's not doing this. There's no way. I did understand the whole contract thing. Last year, he was supposed to get $16 million. It wasn't guaranteed. They guaranteed him that. They gave him 2 more year extension on top of that. None of that money was guaranteed. Like, this money that he got this year, it was a roster bonus. Like, that wasn't guaranteed to him, you know. And the reason that the Steelers did it that way is because if Cam sucked last year, the Steelers were going to cut Cam Heyward. That's the reason that they did it this way. But Cam didn't bet on himself. And that's the difference. Cam didn't put his foot down and say, no, I want 2 years guaranteed no matter what. The Steelers probably told him, well, you're not getting 2 years. We'll give you 1, and we'll give you this 2-year extension. And now the Steelers are holding his feet to the fire. And look, business is business. We hate the business side of football, but it is what it is, people. We can't be mad. We can't be mad. So, Bernard Nixon, are you worried about Rodgers' mobility at 41? Bernard, we are talking about Cam Heyward, brother. But the answer, no, I'm not. So, the timing is absolutely terrible. The effing guy, it's just bad. So, that's the difference. It's just bad. So, and players get cut all the time if they don't perform. That's why I'm always pro player. Somebody tried to argue and say, well, guys know that if they sign a contract at the back end, they're going to get cut. And I'm like, no, actually, they don't know that. They don't know that. They know that the guaranteed part is the only part that's guaranteed. But on the back end of my deal, they tried to, somebody was just making up numbers. And I'm like, the reason that people renegotiate and ask you to take pay cuts and they cut guys is because of the salary cap, and that your cap hit counts $16 million. Has nothing to do with the actual dollar amount. You might get $16 million, but your cap hit might be 22. Well, teams don't want to do that. So I get it. But that's what it is. That's what it is. Michelle, how do I think it's going to shake out? To be honest with you, and not that I'm not always honest, I actually think, and it's kind of what I said, I think the Steelers are going to end up giving him a little bit more money, but It's not going to be as much. I think to get him up to 16 million, I think the Steelers might do that. They just might do that. But I don't think it's going to be more because the Steelers they can't set a precedence of giving guys more money 1 year after they give you a deal. They can't do that. And they shouldn't do that. And us as fans, understanding the business side, even if you are a pro player, can't have the Steelers doing that. We can't be held hostage. I mean, for instance, let's just say TJ Watt sets the sack record this year. And then he goes back to the Steelers and says, you know what? I set the sack record. I was the defensive player of the year. I want $48 million a year guaranteed now. That's essentially what Cam Heyward is doing, people. That other than his money's not guaranteed, that's essentially what's happening. It's a little different. You get into the nuances. It's a little different. But yeah. Because, TJ Watt's guaranteed money lasts longer. But yeah, that's the difference. So, and that's a good question, Jason. Like, what does he want to be? I don't know. I don't know what he wants to be. Whether he wants to be the highest paid, the 15th highest paid. He ain't going to be the highest paid. I'm going to tell you that right now. That ain't happening. So, does he want to be the 15th highest paid? Does he want to be the 10th? I don't know what he's looking for. And we don't know. So, cryptic IG message was a bad look too. Mr. Wilson Media, you couldn't be more spot on. The thing that I didn't like what Cam did is that he went and hid. First off, it's either you or your agent put this information out. Okay, great. You all put this information out. But then you go and hide and you don't answer questions from the media. Well, you're the one who caused this. So the Steelers didn't cause this. You did. So you put this out. You caused this turmoil. And now you don't want to talk about it? Come on, man. You got to be better than that. And I think that may be another reason why Steeler fans are also so pissed. Like, you caused the issue. People want to talk to you about it. And then you act like you're being put off by having to answer a question or two. Yeah. That part right there is pretty weak. That's pretty weak. It's almost like the online troll. It's like you say all this stuff online and internet tough guys. You guys know how that works. And we've all done it. Internet tough guys. And it's just like, come on, man, you caused the problem. All you got to do is answer a question or two. And here's the thing. I think Steeler fans would have said, you know what? We don't like the timing. We don't necessarily like you doing it, but we understand. He could have easily said, hey, man, I was a first-team All-Pro last year. I'm the 23rd or the 13th. I can't remember. I think it's the 38th highest defensive player in the league. I deserve more money than that. That's the reason. I'm not going to hold out any games. He probably doesn't want to say that because he's going to lose leverage. But he could have easily just come out and just said that. Is that, look, I get it. But he didn't do that. He didn't do that. So, I don't know. No, this year's not guaranteed to Cam Lamont. Well, again, NFL contracts are funny. He got a roster bonus, and the roster bonus is guaranteed. But it's only $13 something million. A little under $14 million is what's guaranteed. So, that's the difference. That is the difference. And he's already earned it. So they can't take it away from him. He already earned it. So, Big G, I don't think it has anything to do with his days being numbered because of other people playing football. I think it might be because he might not be playing football. Sophie, that's enough. Yeah, I think it has to do with he may not be playing football very much longer, but I don't think it has anything to do with other guys that are around him. So, but that's kind of the deal. What's going on, Felicia? But honestly, I just, like I said, I had 24 hours to kind of digest all of this. And I think Cam is wrong. I think it's stupid. And I can admit when I get hyper emotional about something that I shouldn't be. Not that I shouldn't be, that I can just be wrong. Hell, we're all wrong. And if you can't just admit that you're wrong about it, what the hell are we doing? Cam, this is stupid. Flat out, this is just stupid and doesn't need to be. I get it. I understand why he wants the money. I totally understand. I'm not even mad for asking. I'm not even mad for him asking for more money. But the timing is terrible. How it came about is even more horrific. And for him to not answer any questions, he's been such a stand-up person for so long. Felicia is tripping. I love it. Said Cam is on that Thunderbird. He probably is. He probably is. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And I get that he just signed. It's more than that to me, though. Like, I don't look at it that way because, again, teams can cut you when either you underperform and they want to get rid of you, or the numbers don't work, the salary cap. You could be playing top notch, but if the salary cap numbers don't work, teams will get rid of you. So the whole you got to honor your contract, that doesn't fly. That doesn't fly. Like somebody tried to say in their contract, it says they can be cut. And man, you sign a contract, okay? And the only guaranteed part of it is the money that you get. Everybody understands that, but it's still a contract for labor. My dog is going berserk, so. But that's basically what it is. That's what it is. I just, Cam, dumb. Sophie, stop. Just went out. So I just think it's stupid. He doesn't need to do bad timing. If you want to do that, he had all offseason to do that. And again, I get it. The only leverage that a player has is to sit out practice and to sit out, sit out practice, sit out game. But Cam's not going to miss any games. He's not going to miss any games. So, and no, Curtis, they are not cutting Cam. That ain't happening. They're not that's not happening. So, but the brother on the team, take his money. That's what people were saying yesterday. Say, Cam, if you want some more money, then get rid of your brother. I'm like, that is cold-blooded, boy. That is cold-blooded. You want more money? Get rid of your brother. I'm like, I don't disagree. Don't get me wrong. I don't disagree. But Lord have mercy. So, cold-blooded, man. But we'll see. We'll see what it had. I know it is what it is. I get it. I'm just saying it's cold-blooded, man. That's cold-blooded. Either way, we'll figure it out. We will figure out exactly what's what and what's going on. So, Sophie, that is quite enough out of you. So, but it is the truth. No, you're right, Dominique. It is the truth. It is. You want some more money. Your brother's getting some cash. How much of a help is he going to be on the Pittsburgh Steelers? So, but I get it. So that's basically what I wanted to come on here today, people, and tell y'all. I got too emotional yesterday. I got too wrapped up in people being negative and being pro player and being hypocritical on going back on what my philosophy is. And my philosophy is literally, I'm pro player, but I always leave that caveat. It has to make sense. And quite frankly, it does not make sense. This does not make Sophie. Okay. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And if it doesn't make sense, we can't make sense of it, people. We can't make sense of it. So we appreciate y'all, man. Thank you guys as always. Tomorrow, we will be live streaming the game. So we will be streaming. Now, again, just to make sure we're clear, I can't physically show you guys the game, but I'll be there just like we did the draft this year. We'll be talking. We'll be in a live chat. Everybody watching the game. So, and we'll talk about it, have some fun with it. We'll get live on our post game, live after the game, talking about what we saw, good, bad, indifferent, all that good stuff. So, appreciate you guys, man. And I will talk to you tomorrow. And aloha.